Hey guys, it's me KSMR here, and today I'm going to be reading an Akaashi Keiji ex-listener. Woo! This was very requested, and I'm very happy to deliver because I love Akaashi so much. He's so pretty. Anyways, this is part 7 in the Kisses series, and that's all I have to say. Let's get right on into the video. He says for you to come out now. Yuki Shirafuku, one of Fukurodani's other managers, informed you through the door of the bathroom stall. I can't. It's too embarrassing. Just tell him to enjoy himself at the party. It's not like he was the one that did anything wrong. You muttered from your current hiding place. You could hear Yuki-chan sigh, and then grumble something under her breath before exiting the girls' bathroom again. Leaning your forehead against the stall door, you squeaked out a very quiet scream. You could kill Bokuto right now. Him and his fucking big mouth. You hadn't realized that he was right behind you, in the line at the buffet. He was unusually quiet, so you had admitted to Yuki-chan that yes, you did like Keiji very much. Seriously? A familiar voice from behind you made your blood run cold. Of anyone to have overheard, it just had to be him. You turned around quickly to prevent any damage. Oh god, Bokuto-san. That's great. You like Akaashi? That's awesome, first name. He cheered loudly, clapping his hands on your shoulder. You winced at the outright mention of your crush's name before scanning the crowd. Every single person in the vicinity had stopped, staring right at you, and then the silent boy, with a look of true surprise etched gently on his beautiful face. Oh, was I too loud? Bokuto asked sheepishly, noticing the stares. Keiji still hadn't moved. Yuki rolled her eyes at Bokuto, trying to comfort you by placing an arm on your shoulder. First name? Everyone was still staring at you. It was way too much. Akaashi wasn't shy exactly, but he was quiet and reserved, and you imagined this was probably mortifying for him, just as bad as it was for you. You had never even planned on saying anything. You were just content to observe. Someone as beautiful as Akaashi could never be interested in someone like you. But that didn't stop what you felt for him. And you had always assumed that you would just enjoy privately swooning over him, and that he would never be the wiser, and that was completely fine with you. It wasn't a big deal that he wouldn't like you back. Not really. Except now it was. Still staring at your crush, neither of you two moved a muscle. Your eyes began to tear without warning. You cursed Bokuto in your head, though you know he meant no harm, and dashed out quickly of the room. Yuki-chan tried to follow you, but stopped for a moment by Keiji, just making things more humiliating for you. Hiding in the bathroom was the only thing you could think of at the time, and now that he was waiting in the hall, you were trapped. When Yuki finally re-entered, you held your breath, hoping that it would be good news. He says he'll just keep waiting outside of the door for you until you come out. Her slightly irritated voice came. Tell him, but you were immediately interrupted. No, you know what, first name? Tell him yourself. This has gotten really old, and I'm done playing little messenger between the two of you. Either come out or stay in here sulking all night. He's going to be out there either way. You're being ridiculous. You were a little shocked that she could be so firm with you. I'm scared. He'll just laugh at me, Yuki-chan. You admitted, opening the door and showing her your puffy, tear-stained face. Then he's not worth your time, first name, she offered, adding, but you know how Keiji is. I really doubt he would laugh at you for something like this. She gave you a quick hug and said, now wash off your face and then come talk to him. I'll let you know, and then I'm going back to dance, okay? You gave her a weak smile as you nodded. Thank you, Yuki-chan, you offered before turning on the sink. Keiji had never been so surprised by something. He was under the impression that you didn't care for him much. To Keiji, it seemed that you had almost avoided him during school and games. It wouldn't have normally bothered him, except for the fact that he had developed a pretty big crush on you. You were a second year like him, and had been in his classes for the last 2 years. When you started managing the team, he began to take more and more notice of you. Though you didn't approach him directly for a conversation, you were always kind if he spoke to you. You had a quick wit sometimes that even put him on the spot with your snarky remarks, and he couldn't help but chuckle softly at what you did. He was pretty sure that you had blushed he's pretty sure that you blushed about it one time, but he tried to talk to you later, and you seemed pretty determined to avoid him. He found himself observing you fairly often. Around everyone you were friendly, funny, and clever, and he certainly found you very cute. He tried to come up with ways to get to open up around you more, Once he even pretended to be bad at English just so you could help him spend time tutoring. Or just so you can tutor him to spend extra time. No matter how much you did, it still seemed that you were determined to avoid him. One afternoon, when his setting skills were off enough that even Bokuto noticed, he was pressured into telling Bokuto exactly what bothered him. How could anyone not love you, Akaashi? You're so cool, Bokuto raved honestly. I don't know, she never talks to me unless I say something first, but then it seems like we talk forever. Akaashi mused, a faint smile turning down his lips. He wished that were true. He would have loved to talk to you more, forever, if it was with you. Maybe she's just shy, Bokuto attempted. That's not it. Is she shy around you? Well, no, the spiky-haired boy admitted. The other guys, the managers, she even talks to our classmates more than me. Akaashi still wore his flat expression, but inside he felt frustrated. Some people tell me I look depressed all the time. I think maybe I might creep her out a little bit or something. Bokuto laughed hard. What? Creep her? What the hell, Akaashi? I'm positive that's not it. He appreciated that Bokuto-san thought so highly of him, but then he wasn't the one... But then he wasn't one of the people who told Akaashi how bland he looked. He imagined no one ever saying something like that about his energetic team captain. Maybe I'm coming off as trying too hard, Akaashi worried. I don't think that's the problem either. Bokuto was laughing even harder now. What's funny about that? Keiji clipped. You don't really look like you're trying too hard at anything, ever. You just seem kind of naturally calm. His best friend still snickered, clapping him on the back for reassurance. You just have a boisterous... What? You just have enough posterity for the whole team, Bokuto-san. Competing with that would take energy I don't even want to spend. It looks exhausting. It's pretty fantastic, Bokuto said, idly admiring his muscles as if they had something to do with the conversation. I don't think that was a compliment, Bokuto-san, he muttered, rolling his eyes and wishing for a little bit more of Kotaro's current confidence. The ace completely ignored him, throwing his arm around his shoulder, drawing him into a slightly uncomfortable side hug. Maybe, oh, hey, I got it. Maybe it's that she likes you too, and she's so embarrassed to be around you because she thinks you're so dreamy. Bokuto, he tried to argue but was quickly interrupted. I can fix this. Dude, I'll ask her. That's gotta be it anyways, right? Nothing else makes any sense. The Bokuto looked especially pleased with himself. Bokuto-san, don't. I won't set for you anymore. Keiji warned. Huh? He shouted, quite alarmingly, at the prospect before recovering. Well, I'm graduating, so there. I'll ask her at the big party that Karasuno's coach is throwing. If you do something like that, I won't even set for you during practice. Won't you be coming home during practice, or during breaks, and wanting to play? Keiji tried. Akaashi, that's not fair. I'm just trying to help you with this. Keiji knew well enough that this was true. Bokuto meant no harm. It did make sense to him that someone might actually not want to hang out with Akaashi. He seemed to forget at times that being excellent at setting wasn't quite what everybody looked for in a friend. Well, don't. I still got another year to sort all of this out after all. He really did want to figure out why you avoided him all the time. If he could, he wanted to be the one to tell you that he liked you. Huffing out loud, an exaggerated sigh, Bokuto agreed with a whine. Fine, I won't tell her anything. But now, Hirakashi was, waiting outside the ladies' room for you to come out. He was certain Bokuto was the root of this whole thing, and he wanted to apologize to you for saying anything to his over-the-top friend. Finally, you came out, face still a little puffy and your eyes still red. He felt guilty enough, but seeing for himself that you had been crying really managed to get under his skin. Leaning against the wall beside him, you said, so... But that was it. You seemed completely unsure what to do for her. First name, I have to apologize, he said, at the exact same time you said, I'm sorry for all of this. Wait, why are you sorry, he asked. Don't apologize for not liking me, please. It's really, really humiliating. You can't control that kind of thing, you muttered, not looking in his direction, taking over his question. Huh? Not liking? first name. I'm sorry Bokuto said anything so foolish to put those words in your mouth. I'm sure he misunderstood. I'm afraid this is my fault. Keiji sighed. He heard what he wanted, I suppose. Then he embarrassed you publicly. As he frowned over the memory of your distressed face, he commented, sounding a little surprised. Bokuto didn't put any words in my mouth. He overheard me. Overheard you? You mean overheard you say my name and just assumed that you had a crush on me? That sounds just like him, really, he mumbled. Keiji, you trying this hard to pretend that I didn't mean what I said is kind of hurting my feelings. Even if you don't think I'm that embarrassing, he responded, standing a little taller. I like you, but not enough for you to keep insulting me to my face. Akaashi started, completely confused. You like me? You don't like me. You try to avoid me. Because I'm sure that you would notice that I had a huge crush on you, and I didn't want you to reject me, so I kind of distanced myself, you stated back. He didn't even know that was possible for somebody to look as shy and as pretty as you did then. But his mind was completely floundering. Bokuto-san had been right. That was something he truly wasn't prepared for. He was usually the one of them that was good at reading situations. How did Bokuto-san know that you liked Keiji before he did? He groaned and reminded himself that he owed Bokuto an apology. Why do you look so surprised? I mean, Bokuto just blurted it out in front of the whole party. Are you telling me that even after that, you didn't realize that I liked you? He said incredulously. Speaking quietly, he admitted, but I'm the one who likes you. I don't see how I'm good enough for you, and I don't see how I'm good enough for you to be afraid of liking me. Your eyes looked surprised as he thought of himself so humbly, and before he had a chance to register what was going in, you were leaning in sorry, for an all too eager kiss. He wasn't exactly sure what he had said to flip that switch, but he slinked his arms around your small back. He slinked his arms around the small of your back and returned the kiss with passion. I don't know. Bokuto, he absolutely owed Bokuto-san the biggest apology he could muster for ever doubting him on this. He would listen to all the I told you so's that he would have to, because somehow his friend had actually managed to solve Bokuto's problems. How could someone as gorgeous as Akaashi think you couldn't possibly like him back? You'd spent this time thinking the same thing, and maybe you wouldn't have gotten yourself in this situation if you had been a little more trusting. Still, things hadn't turned out so badly. Here you were, standing in the hallway, kissing Keiji fiercely all over his face, smudging him with your pink lipstick. And he was kissing you back. His lips were soft and full, and very overwhelming. You felt a fire building within you, and heat fluttering through your veins. Clutching you tightly, Keiji nudged your bottom lip with his tongue. And you happily let him... I shouldn't be reading this. Sorry guys, I'm sorry. And he kissed you passionately. You clung around his neck and tried to keep yourself from getting so aroused, and you pressed yourself against him. But the more his tongue developed into you, the more difficult it became. Pulling away rapidly enough that Akaashi groaned in disappointment, he panted, I like you, Keiji. I really, really like you. Don't you believe me now? You couldn't help but smile slightly. His grayish-green eyes, which usually seemed unreadable to you, now seemed somehow delighted, insane, and hungry. There was a faint blush on his cheeks, and his mouth seemed like it was desperately trying to put the right words to respond. He seemed flustered, rubbing the back of his neck, eyebrows still pinched, with slight disbelief over what just happened between the two of you, and so quickly. He breathed, moving to gently grip your chin. Let me double check, if I may. You nodded and closed your eyes, slowly being welcomed back to the feeling of his tender lips. Both of you again tended to hold back. Both of you tended to hold back and be more reserved with others. This time, you weren't sure how much either of you would be able to control yourself, and it didn't bother you in the slightest. I got way too flustered when I was reading that, because there was one part that I was going to read, and then I saw it, and I'm like, no, I can't say that, Because, anyways, Akaashi is fine as fuck. What the actual fuck? I'm sorry for that. I didn't mean to like do that when I was fucking reading that. I didn't think I was gonna get flustered reading that, because I'm not a huge Akaashi simp. But I think this just changed that. Okay, might have to make his way to with Kenma, which is my top 3. Okay, that was really good. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure you tap the subscribe button and the notification button so you get notified every single time I post a video. And also tap the like button, because that is something for the YouTube algorithm, and comment down below some other characters you want me to read. Make sure you check my channel to make sure that I haven't already done those characters. If you're gonna request things, like if you're gonna request a Gashima, don't even bother. I don't think anyone who has seen my channel before would, because I have like 16 videos of him up, which is the most of anyone, which isn't really surprising for him, because he's what I think about 24/7, so oop. But anyways, I should stop simping. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.